Let us do certain numericals on distance and displacement. Now, the first question that comes in front of us is find the distance and displacement where I represents the initial position and F represents the final position. How can we do it? Okay, the first question is in front of you. This is the initial position, this I is the initial position, this F is the final position, and this E is the intermediate position. Okay, a person starts from I, goes to E, and then returns back to F. Okay, he has traveled something like this. Then after reaching this point, he has traveled something like this. This is the situation that I am talking about. Now, in this particular case, if a person has traveled from I to E, if the person travels from I to E, the total distance covered by the person, maybe 5 plus 2 is equals to 7. Okay, 5 plus 2 is equals to 7. Now, he has backtraced his path and he is traveling from E to F. Now, in this particular case, what is happening? We have to add 2 also, because now he is traveling from E point to F point, which means 2 meter distance again. The total distance in this particular situation, it is basically equals to 9 meter. 9 meter is the total distance that he has traveled. Can we calculate the displacement? Yes, displacement is pretty easy. What is displacement? The distance covered by the body from initial position to final position. The shortest path covered by the body from initial to final position. See, this is the initial position. This is the final position. So the displacement is the distance between these two, which means the displacement covered by the body, the displacement of the body is basically equals to 5 meter. It was a simple problem. Now moving to the next case, problem number B, it says that this is the initial position and this is the final position, and the particle covers a path something like this. Now in this case, what we can do, distance finding is easy. We can easily find the distance. Distance is basically equals to 24 plus 10. Okay, distance is basically equals to 24 plus 10 meters, which is basically equals to 34 meters. The distance covered by the body is basically equals to 34 meters in this case. It is equals to 34 meters in this particular case. Okay, but how can we find the displacement? Displacement is also easy. Can you just calculate the distance between I and F by a single line, which is taking place by a single line like this? I have marked it also with a yellow pen. Okay, it is simple. We can use the Pythagoras theorem. Okay, we can use the Pythagoras theorem. It tells us that h square is equals to p square plus b square. Okay, h square is equals to p square plus b square. Now, this h square is the IF position, means we have to find this h square. We are having the perpendicular. Yes, 10 meters is the perpendicular. So we can make it 10 square, and b square, what is b square? B square is equals to 24 square. Okay, it is equals to 24 square. Now, when you calculate these all, you will find that h is basically equals to root of 10 square plus 24 square, which is equals to 26 meters. So the displacement of the body is basically equals to 26 meter. Okay, it was also an easy problem. Okay, it was also an easy problem. Now, if we have to calculate the distance and displacement in this case, okay, distance calculation is easy. Okay, first you can try it by yourself, but I am just saying that distance calculation is easy. We can simply write it something like this: 4 plus 6 plus 4, it is equals to 14 meters. Distance is basically equals to 14 meters. Now, what is the displacement? How can we calculate the displacement? See, what is displacement? It is the shortest path covered by the body. The shortest path covered by the body, or a straight line path from initial position to the final position. It is a straight line path from initial position to the final position. How can we see the straight line path? We can do something. Yes, we can do something. What can we do? We can simply construct a line from the initial position to the final position, and this will be a straight line path. This is the straight line path that we are looking for. Okay, this is the straight line path that we are looking for. Now, how can we calculate this straight line path? How can we calculate it? See, it is easy. What you can do, you can move this particular line at this position and this particular line at this position, meaning that you can construct an equivalent figure which will look something like this. This is the equivalent figure and it will look something like this. Okay, we can construct this equivalent figure. Now, is it easy? This becomes equals to 8 meters and this becomes equal to what? 6 meters. Okay, now I think it is easy because we can again apply the Pythagoras theorem and we can calculate that this hypotenuse, this is the hypotenuse, this hypotenuse will be basically equals to what? Root of 8 square plus 6 square. Okay, root of 8 square plus 6 square. See, this is the equivalent diagram that I have drawn from this particular figure. What I have done, I have moved this 4 meter in the upward direction and this line of 6 meters in this in the forward direction or in the right hand side. Okay, so we got the final figure as this figure and here the hypotenuse value becomes 10 meters. This is the answer, which is basically the displacement of the body. Okay, so this was also an easy problem. Now your fight begins. How can you solve this particular problem? This question, a student starts his journey from his home to his school, or I can do one thing, let me name it as question number 2, 3 and 4 and I will be doing on separate sides. A student starts his journey from his home to his school. So we can simply mark it like this. This is question number 2. From his home to his school. He has to travel from his home to his school. Now he travels 5 meters in the north direction. Means he is traveling, I can simply change the point. He is traveling 5 meters in the north direction. Means this is his home. He is traveling in this direction. Okay, this is basically equals to 5 meters. Now, after this, he takes a right turn. Now he is moving like this, means his right turn will be here. Okay, this is his right turn. He will be traveling in the right direction and that too 2 meters. Okay, we can mark it as 2 meters also. Now after this, he takes a right turn again. Now he is standing something like this. The right turn becomes this particular place. Okay, he is facing over here, then the right turn becomes this particular thing. Okay, so we can simply mark it that he will be traveling how many kilometers? How many meters? 8 meters. He will travel 8 meters. So he will reach at this particular point. This is 8 meters, you can consider. After this, what will happen? He takes a right turn again and travels 8 meters. He takes a left turn and travels 2 meters. He is traveling 2 meters. See, he is facing something like this, means the left turn becomes this particular direction. Okay, the left turn becomes this particular direction, means that he will be traveling in this particular direction for 2 meters. Okay, it is basically what? It is basically equals to 2 meters. After that, what is given? What is the distance and displacement? Also tell the direction he is facing. Now he is facing in this particular direction, means he is facing in NEWS, in east direction. So person is facing in east direction. He is facing east. Okay, I think that this particular point is clear. Now what is the distance? Distance is easy, as you all know, that distance is basically equals to 5 plus 2 plus 8 plus 2. Okay, means it becomes 5, 6, 7. 7 plus 8 is equals to 15 and 15 plus 2 is equals to 17. So distance covered by the person is basically equals to 17 meters. 17 meters is the distance covered. But here also, how can we find out the displacement? That's the question. Now here the shortest path. Here the shortest path, let me mark it with a different color. Here the shortest path is this particular line. Okay, this is the shortest path covered by the body. But how can we calculate it? See, if you just mark similar lines, some of the similar lines, something like this, that you can make it a square and that's all. Then what is this particular? This This and this are parallel, means it becomes equals to what? It becomes equals to 5 meters. Okay, this particular thing is equals to 5 meters. Now after we have taken this, can we find the distance of this particular line? Okay, the point you can consider it as AB. Can we find the distance of AB? Yes, we can find. How? But how? Yes, we can find it something like this, that 8 minus 5 is equals to AB. Means that AB is basically equals to what? AB is equals to 3 meters. AB is equals to 3 meters. Now, we have to calculate this particular thing. Can we shift this line in the downward direction? Means, can we construct a line something like this, and can we construct a line something like this where this line and this line are similar? Means that it is equals to 3 meters. Okay, it is equals to 3 meters and it becomes equals to 2 meters. Okay, have you understood the construction? We have just shifted this line in the downward direction, and we have just shifted this line in the left side. Okay, now what will happen? We can we apply hypotenuse theorem? Can we apply Pythagoras theorem? Yes, it becomes the hypotenuse and these are the perpendicular and bases respectively. But the base is basically 2 plus 2 is equals to 4 meter. B is basically equals to 4 meter. Okay, B is equals to 4 meter, and the perpendicular we can consider as it is basically equals to 3 meter. Perpendicular is equals to 3 meters. Now, it is easy. We all know that 4 square plus 3 square is equals to 25, and its root is equals to 5 meters. Means the displacement in this particular case becomes equals to 5 meter. Root of p square, root of 4 square plus 3 square, which is basically equals to root of 25, which is equals to 5 meters. So this is the answer for our question number 2. Now, moving to another question, question number 3. A person starts from point I. See, this is point I. Basically, I have marked it over here, but you can understand. This is point I. And he starts moving in the clockwise direction, in the anti-clockwise direction in a circle where O is the center. Okay, O is the center. We have to find the distance and displacement in this particular case. How can we find it? It is again easy. See, it is traveling in this anti-clockwise direction. Suppose that you are having a pizza and you have divided the pizza into 4 parts. Or you can consider simply that if this angle is 90 degree, then the remaining angle will be equals to what? The remaining angle will be equals to 270 degree. Okay, the remaining angle will be equals to 270 degree. And what we have to do? We have to consider only this 270 degree angle part. Okay, we have to consider only this 270 degree angle part. Means we can simply consider 270 degree out of the 360 degrees. Okay, a circle basically makes 360 degree or a complete angle something like this. So we have to consider it from 360 degrees. 270 divided by 360. Now, what is the perimeter of the circle? Okay, what is the perimeter of the circle? The perimeter of the circle is basically equals to 2 pi r. So you have to multiply it simply by 2 pi r, where r is equals to 5 centimeter. Now, can you calculate the distance covered by this particular path? Can you calculate the distance? Yes, the distance is this thing. It becomes basically 3 by 4, or you can calculate it simply like we have divided the pizza into 4 parts. Then we are having 3 parts out of 4. So it becomes 3 by 4. 3 by 4 into 2 pi r. It is 3 by 2 pi into 5, which is equals to what? 15 by 2 or 7.5 pi. The answer, the distance basically becomes 7.5 pi. This is the distance covered by the body. Okay, this is the distance covered by the body. Can we calculate the displacement too? Yes, we can calculate. How can we calculate? We have to simply move from, let me change the pen color of the pen. We have to simply move from this point to this point, and this is the displacement covered by the body. Now, what is happening over here? See, it is again, yes, we can apply the Pythagoras theorem. This is equals to 5 centimeter because we are taking it from the center. So this is equals to 5 centimeter again, and we can simply use what? Pythagoras theorem, we can calculate the hypotenuse by h is equals to root of perpendicular square plus base square, means root of 5 square plus 5 square, we can take 5 as common and the hypotenuse or the displacement becomes 5 root 2. This is basically the displacement of the body. Okay, this is the displacement of the body. And yes, we have calculated both of them. Now, the last question of the day. An athlete travels in a circular path and makes 10 complete round in a rounds. It should be rounds. 10 complete rounds in a circular track of radius 100 meters. So this radius is basically equals to 100 meters, and he is making 10 complete rounds in this particular thing. Now we have to find the distance and displacement. If he is making 10 complete rounds, then final position this particular thing. Initial and final positions are different. Means 10 complete rounds he is making and also a half round. Okay, 10 plus a half. You have to consider it 10 plus half. Means he is making 10 and a half rounds on this circular track. So you can simply calculate the distance covered by him as 10.5. Okay, because he is making 10.5 rounds basically. So it becomes 10.5 into what is the perimeter of this circle? What is the perimeter of the circle? It is basically equals to 2 pi r. Okay, this is the perimeter. Now we can simply calculate it something like this, that it becomes 10.5 into 2 pi into 100. What is the answer now? The answer basically becomes 1050 into 2 pi, which is basically equals to 2100 pi meters. Okay, you can substitute the value of pi and also calculate the final perfect answer, but I am leaving it here only. Okay, this is the distance covered by this particular body. But what is the displacement now? What is the displacement? This is basically the distance covered by the body or the athlete. But what is the displacement? For displacement, we can calculate it simply. See, he is moving from here to here with an angle of 180 degree in between. Means we can draw a straight line from initial to final position. Means that he is traveling 100 plus 100, which is basically equals to the diameter. Okay, so the displacement is basically equals to the diameter of the circle. Okay, displacement is basically equals to the diameter of the circle, which is basically equals to what? Displacement basically becomes 100 plus 100, which is equals to 200 meters. Okay, so 200 meters is the displacement covered by the body. Okay, I think that you got all my points.